Very good morning, class. Today we are going to discuss chapter 9, Fundamental Rights, and the title is Too Much Let It Right. And so and so. Fundamental rights, fundamental duties. In the first lecture of this chapter, we discussed about fundamental rights, human rights, right to freedom, and prevention, detention. Today, we will continue from that portion and we will move to next topics. Let's discuss. Let's write down first thumbnail and then we have explanation. At first, today we are going to discuss about the right against exploitation. Right against exploitation, it says that not a single, as a human being, you should resist your exploitation, and according to the law, no one is allowed to exploit anyone in any manner, like paying less wages and making them do their hard work, and slavery, beating like hell, and many more things. These are considered exploitation. Like if a company is running, then an employee has must has some kind of rights. In that, whatever he do, he should be paid according to the norms. But in a rural area or in farm, but has the small scale procedures, and the persons like laborers work for someone. So if they are paid less wages, that is also called as So he or she should knows that this is the regular price, this is the regular wages and salary, and that particular manager or supervisor, whatever you can say, he pays us less. So that is called a right against exploitation. He or she has a right to stand against him and make your point of view, and you can get over this problem. Let's discuss this. ये है human trafficking, selling of girls and even boys also at some place, and any children which is under 14-year age, any children which is under 14-year age are not allowed to do any kind of job, okay, especially on hazardous place, as many kids are, you have seen many kids at near child factory and carrying the waste on their on shoulder. These are the activities that they do to continue their livelihood, and these are not allowed. But in slum area, it's usual. But government has made some of the rules and regulations. In that, most of the important thing is RTP. That's right to education. Suppose a family can't afford education in a school, so according to this law, under this law, he can apply. His family members can apply in a particular field, and a particular school without paying any fees. You have to submit your documents, and after that, the procedures will go on, and you will be selected in any of your nearest school by nearby, you can say. So it's like from first to 12, it was first to 8, now first to 10, and after that first to 12. Means students can have free education from textbook to uniform, everything is free. Government will take care of that. Government will pay behalf on you. That is called right to education, and it is also a tax them against this exploitation. If a rural family students are also allowed, then we will have again personalities like Mahatma Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru, and all that. You know what? Once there was all this kind of dignitaries, now we don't have any kind of dignitaries, because now a biggest problem is corruption. Each and every talented person are on the verge of this land, but because of the heavy cloud of exploitation, they do not make them, or they are not allowed to move upside in a vertical direction. And because of this corruption, middle class families also damaged from inside them or from their back. So that is the reason, or one of the reasons we can say, that we do not have a good education, we do not have anything good in this country. But then also, because of some social activities and some good efforts like this RTE, these personalities can come and they can have a good education. What? Yes, under Child Labor Act, it is punishable. Yes, definitely it's a punishable offense. Now, right to freedom of religion. Right to freedom of religion. Second is right to freedom of religion. Right to freedom of religion. This is called any person which is in India, stays in India, have freedom to follow any religion. Whether his parents follow Hindu, he can go in the Muslim community, or he can accept Islam. Whether his brother is a Christian, he can follow from Hindu Dharma. So this is called right to freedom of religion. Government, as our country is a secular, because our country is a secular, this is a right. Our country is a secular country. Means our country never promotes any specified religion. They accepted all the religion, but they do not promote any religion. Because of that, this law has been enacted. And secular also in 1948 it was introduced in the law, and after that this has been generated. And on the basis of this, government and Indian government they never discriminate any persons on the basis of this, Hindu Muslim caste and creed. Our president Sri Ramnath Kovind is a Dalit person. You know that Dalit is the lowest caste, but he is the president, the highest personality, the highest dignitary, the highest paid person, and the most powerful personality and most honorable personality of India. This is called the power of education. This is called right against exploitation. If that person was exploited in Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, education, road, society, then we can't have that Sri Ramnath Kovind. This, if that education made him this. So this is the only way to, education is the only weapon that inside your human being, inside your mind. Okay, that is the only weapon, and that will help you to grow yourself. Are you following class? Now we have third, culture and educational rights. Culture and educational rights. We have these culture and educational rights. Because of this, yes, because of this also educational right here, RT came, according to this RT, educational rights, right to education, each and every person from first one up to 12, up to 14 years old, each and every kid has educational rights. Means it's their own right of first right after human rights, first right that they can have a better and a good education. Got it? So because of that, government has made and passed this law, and each and every students are now in a big school, studying in a big school. Now we have fundamental duties. We have fundamental duties. Fundamental duties says that, these are the duties in 1976, and what are these duties says? To defend the country and render national service when called upon to do so. Means if there is a national crisis, and if you are called to join the army, so you should go. To uphold and protect the sovereignty, union, and integrity of India, it is your fundamental duty to protect your sovereignty and integrity. Your sovereignty and integrity. To cherish and follow the noble ideals which inspired our national struggle for freedom. To cherish and follow the noble ideals which inspired our national struggle for freedom. That the noble concepts and noble thoughts that has been used during the freedom struggle of India, that should be cherished in this age. Also, to protect and improve the natural environment, including forest, lake, river, and wildlife, means what? Each and every person should protect Each and every person should protect their natural environment, culture, and many more things. Forest, lake, river, and wildlife. To safeguard public property and to abjure violence. To safeguard public property and to abjure violence. Abjure violence. Okay. So, and to develop the scientific temper, humanism, and the spirit of inquiry and reform. Inquiry and reform. So these are the basic fundamental duties, that are used in this portion, and each and every person should follow. Now we'll move to next topic. What is a directive principle of a state policy? It says that if the objective of this directive principle of state policy is to guide the present and future central and state governments in the policy making in various policy related. These principles are directives. The state is not bound to fulfill them, but it's the moral responsibility of the state to keep these principles in the center for framing any policy. Okay, so as this states that it is a directive, means it is like a principle of a state policy. You know what, a country or a state, whenever it makes a policy, it has to summarize all the histories, that what is the, if suppose policy has been amended or implemented, what will happen on the basis of what was happened in the history. So after revising the history and thinking or predicting about the future, these combining all these stuffs parallel, these policies has been implemented. As the state and the central government has both has their own system, but this principle does not bound any governments, whether it is state or a central. But here we are discussing about state policy. The state are not bounded under this principles. Okay, they can do some kind of modification, but it's their moral responsibility that you should consider the past, present, and future. All these things. After implementing the policy, how the country will affect, how this portion will affect the country. Let's an example of earlier we have law has been passed recently and was literally opposed by 80% of Indian public. Means we can say 132 crore people opposed that bill. You know the law? Yes, good. That was the law. It was NRC and second one was that. Good. Now after that, yes, this policy and this principle is the basic principle for to make a country growth. The main objective of this principle is to see that any political, social and economic justice should be available to all. Such a social structure should be established for the fulfillment of the objectives and aim of the state. The principles serve as a guideline. There is no provision to implement these principles of law. These fundamental principles do not provide any legal support. Okay, so here we can say that this is the this is the principles, guidelines to create a state policy. Simple, it is a one kind of guideline. Some kind of guidelines. Got it? Now we have principles related to economic policy. We have just a second. Means economic policy, social policy, and health policy. Suppose principle of economic policy, it says that equal work for both men and women, equal distribution of payment for men and women. Got it? Each and every person should be treated as this is not a woman. This is also one kind of empowerment. You should not go through with the gender that she's woman, she's not allowed to grow. He's a man, he can allow. Okay? Equal distribution of wealth and resource among all the classes for the welfare of citizens. Are you getting? So all the citizens are paid equally. And we have social policy. That in societies also we have, if there are any circumstances that arise some problems in societies, for that we have social policy. Also, what's there in the social policy? Social policy is said like we have panchayat raj, municipality, code, session code, and many more. that policies, there are guidelines that each and every person should not be harmed by anyone, they should not be treated like animal, should not be exploited. So under these principles, all these has been mentioned. Got it? Very simple. Now, similarly, we have third one, principles related to health policy. Related to health policy. As the health policy says the same situation. Health policy says the public welfare and hygiene should be provided along with the provision for better nutrition and health, and to preserve the environment with latest amendments, there will be taking care of the forest and vegetation should be policy of the state. Means state should have policy regarding the health of human beings as well as vegetation. Not a single forest tree should be cut for the purpose, for the sake of development. Okay, or in the name of the development, or a single tree should be cut, or single leaf should be teared out from a branch. That is called policy. This policy says that first priority is human health. If he is not well, he is not doing well or good physically, so he should be treated as a person directly shuttled to the hospital. So these are the policies that a weak person, a sick person should not do any kind of job, and many more. And hygiene should be there, means there are laws and regulations that you are not allowed to smoke because it's a public place. So this is also from a policy, because you smoke for your you are narcotics, you is another. You are psycho. It's on you, but the people who are around you are not that kind of. So they will this behavior will directly affect you. Yeah. Are you getting the point? These are the principles, and that the principle of state policy. As this chapter was very interesting and very important for civics, we have discussed fundamental rights, fundamental duties, directive principles, right against exploitations, fundamental rights and fundamental duties also. Fundamental rights, these are the rights government by this, and the duties that you have done. So here, some of the things is that we should continue this procedure. And here, yes, one of the thing in second part, this chapter is over. Second part, this chapter is over. Chapter 9, fundamental regions. In the next chapter, we will discuss what we can do. Till then, goodbye.